Father Kelly. How are you this morning?
I'm thrilled that you're here, Cindy.
Oh, and guess where we are? In Magdala on the Sea of Galilee.
It's amazing.
It's so beautiful here at sunrise, and I hope you all watched his sunrise chat and walk, or walk and chat.
Well, you know, it wasn't the best. Well, the Facebook sunrise stroll and chat was good.
Stroll and chat.
But the Instagram one, I felt a bit confused because there were guys fishing, which I got in the Facebook one down there, and the fish were great, but the chat wasn't that great on the Instagram one.
Oh, they're always good.
But
I enjoy them every day.
The Holy Spirit will take care of it.
That's right. Well, I'm here, and I want to talk to you today because you're the staple pretty much of Magdala. I've been bringing my groups, and you've jumped on the bus and said hello to them or talked to them in the dining hall. And you've meant a lot to them over the years, a couple years that they've been coming here. I mean, COVID took away 2 years, but the 2 years prior to that. So I want you to tell a little bit about yourself, because people on my tour see you, but they don't really know a lot about you, and maybe describe the Sea of Galilee right now. So
okay.
I'm gonna let you do all the talking because it's your deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, right now we're looking, Cindy, we're looking right here at the Mount of Beatitudes.
Okay.
Just beyond the brush here, and then we have right down from there we have Capernaum, the home base of Jesus' public ministry at the Sea of Galilee.
Right.
And then straight in our direction from the Mount of Beatitudes we have the multiplication of the loaves, the primacy of Peter. And then if it was a clear day, which today is not, we could see Mount Hermon right there.
Okay.
Behind that hill, the famous Mount Hermon of the Psalms.
Right, and it snowed last week up there,
right?
It
snowed immensely,
wow.
A lot of snow. So then the lake is almost full. Imagine it was full of grace when Jesus was in it. And now it's almost filled with water. You can see the little line over there.
Amazing.
So there's about a foot left, I think. I didn't check the numbers.
Right.
To see what it's like. And here we have Mount Arbel.
Beautiful.
And then Mount Arbel is reflecting here in the lake.
Gorgeous.
Isn't it beautiful?
It's so beautiful.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
So what's your favorite part about the Galilee? How long have you been here now? 4 years?
15 years.
15 years. Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's a lot.
It's a time of blessing. It's a great time of blessing.
It truly is. How did you get called to come to the Galilee?
Well, I was, for the first 10 years I was living in Jerusalem, but we were working also on this project. So I was running the Vatican Guest House in Jerusalem.
Oh, beautiful.
With our community, right? And then we were working on this project, and then at some point this project really took off.
Right.
And then we renewed our teams, and some of us came to live full time here at Magdala. I'm living here about 6 years on the site.
So you were here when they first did the excavation. You were here at groundbreaking.
Right.
So why don't you tell a little bit about that? Because that's pretty amazing that you were here during the groundbreaking.
Well, when we started to build, like everywhere around here, there's archaeology. So we were praying that there wouldn't be any archaeology. That's a big problem.
Yeah, it is.
It's a very expensive hobby.
It is. It is.
And it's a terrible bureaucratic problem because you have so many different instances to deal with. So then, but it's a great treasure. So we said to God, if you want to give us archaeology, give us something good. And he happened to do that.
The best.
It's really amazing.
It
with
is.
The synagogue, the ritual baths, the whole town of Magdala, well, a whole proportion of it, because now there are really 3 parts in Magdala with the new discovery announced last December.
Up across the street,
right. We can see it actually from here.
Oh, you can see it.
The tarp there,
yes.
that's where the synagogue is.
And that synagogue is actually larger than this one, correct? They think?
Yeah, I don't know the exact measurements, but
okay.
it's possible that it's a couple of inches, but they're approximately the same size.
Right.
And it's significant that there are 2 synagogues. It's the only town in antiquity with 2 synagogues.
With 2. That shows the town was expanding, right?
Well, I'm not sure what it shows. That's what the academics have to investigate. Maybe it was normal.
Okay.
And then people, it hasn't been talked about, so it needs to be studied.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. And there's some phrase there in the New Testament where St. Paul mentions about all the synagogues in the town. So that means maybe it was very commonplace.
That's true. I never thought about that.
That needs to be academically explored.
Right.
That's somebody else's job.
Yeah, that's true. Well, what is your favorite part of the Galilee? Like, if you say your go-to.
I just love everywhere. I love everywhere in the world. I mean, God is everywhere.
Yeah, that's right. He is.
So, I mean, the marvel of nature, the marvel of creation, the marvel of the human being, the need of the human being for redemption, God's presence, God's redeeming presence. Everywhere is great. I mean, I've never been reluctant to be anywhere, and I'm blessed to be here. There are a lot of great things about here. Everywhere you walk, you're walking where the Bible is.
That's true.
And then everywhere you meet people, there's a certain, especially visiting people, right? There's an easier openness about the spiritual life, about the gospel, about the Bible, about God, and somehow there's a gift of grace that people have to kind of wake up to reality and they say, gosh, the Sea of Galilee is not just a painting.
That's
You know,
right.
it's not just part of a myth.
That's right.
You can actually put your foot in here and it gets wet.
That's so true. What I love is when I always take people on the boat ride the third day into the trip, because I always say things happen on the third day, you know, like miracles and stuff. And lives get changed. People that really have never, you know, maybe they don't know the Bible or they think these things aren't real. By the third day in the trip, they start saying, this is true, this is real. And when they're on that boat ride, they see the vastness of the Sea of Galilee, and it's life-changing. You know, because the Spirit works on them. They're starting to see true things. It is life-changing.
And actually, that's what I like most about anywhere in the world, is that that God allows us to grow, and that we can change, and that we can be renewed. And we all need that.
Yeah, that's my favorite part of taking people here. Is seeing people will come with their, I'm coming with my husband, I'm coming with my wife, don't ask me to do anything. And they're the ones that are the most changed by the time we get home. That's my favorite part. But you do such a good job talking to people and sharing with them. What is your favorite part? I know you'd like to see people change, but like, what is it you see people that enjoy the most? Just being here? Or?
Yeah, I think, I'm not sure if we can box it into one little box. I think God is working everywhere, and here there's a more immediate experience sometimes of that. How there are people, I don't know, there's an opening of the person, there's a readiness to receive the grace, and the grace was never boxed in, it was always there.
That's
but you know, it's just a blessing. It's God's bounty.
It's true.
It's God's friendship. And it's not that there aren't issues here. I mean, there are huge issues. So it's a complex thing.
It is.
It's a mystery of God, living in God. You know, the wrestling with God, the challenge, and God's gift, God's mercy.
It's so true. Now I know you speak a lot of languages. How many languages do you speak?
Oh, I don't know.
You do know.
I try to speak a little bit of English.
No, really, because I know you speak Polish.
No,
yes,
I speak 6 words of Polish.
Okay, well tell me, you really do speak a lot of
languages. Jezus Chrystus.
And you speak Italian.
Jak się masz?
And you speak Italian, and you do speak a lot.
Okay,
now,
so at home I started with English. I tried to speak a little bit of English.
Yes.
And then Irish was on the menu in Ireland, from children from kindergarten onwards, they're speaking Irish.
Right.
They're not speaking Irish. They're familiar with Irish, they're exposed to Irish. Depending on the family, they'll speak some words. I never became really fluent in spoken Irish. We did incredible academic work in the Irish language, essays and prose analysis, poetry analysis, and all of these things. But it was very laborious, and we never became fluent because we didn't have the environment. My sisters went to the Irish-speaking area and they became fluent.
Oh, wow.
And then the next language then was in high school, Latin and French.
Okay.
So there's an emphasis on that, because a small country like Ireland, beside Europe, you need to have a European continental language. And then you have the Latin as the base of our Western culture, you know, a major basic language. And then when I joined the seminary in 1974, after high school, then Greek was added to the menu, and also Spanish, because our community was born in Mexico.
Wow.
So then Spanish was the fastest acquisition of language, really, because it's a very simple language, actually. Very straightforward and easy to learn. And then while I was studying in Spain, then we started Italian to be ready to study philosophy in Rome. So I did my degree in philosophy in Rome, and that gave a relative fluency in Italian. And then after I did my internship work in the United States, I was back in Rome, and I asked the rector to let me take care of the French-speaking guests who would come. And that way I was able to revive my French and develop it a little bit. And then amazing things happened along the path. You know, when I was in my internship in Michigan, I was asked to do some presentations in Detroit in a Polish parish. So that started me on the Polish, but you're a good cameraman here. And then after, when I was ordained a priest in 1987, I was supposed to go back to the States, and God's finger just happened to change all that plan, and I was in Central Europe.
Oh, that's
I won't go into all the details. It's a lovely story. But anyway,
I think it's on one of your YouTubes.
Maybe.
That you filmed in Notre Dame.
Then I was in Germany, based in Germany, but in contact into the Eastern European countries, and also around, you know, the Netherlands. So then I was, you know, dabbling in all these languages, and I became fluent rather quickly in practical fluency in German.
Right.
So I was working through German for 11 years. and then I could celebrate Mass in Dutch, or I visited many of the Eastern European countries. I actually organized the first pilgrimage from Moscow to Rome.
Wow, really?
It was 1992.
Okay.
Yeah, but I did it. The Holy Spirit.
Of course. But you think about, you really have traveled the whole entire world.
No,
really?
Not really. I'm missing Africa except for Egypt. I was in Egypt obviously a few times from here.
Right.
And then.
But that's a lot.
South America, I've been as far as Mexico, and Mexico's North America, really.
Right.
And then, so I'm missing South America, and I'm missing most of Asia, but we're in Asia right here.
Right.
So
pretty close.
And obviously Oceania, I haven't been there either.
Right. But that is pretty much covered the
globe.
globe.
I did North America and Europe and here in the Middle East.
So how did you get first called into seminary? Because I know you lived in Ireland in a home. On one of your YouTubes, you were talking, or your live streams, you were talking about tell a little bit about that, your childhood and how you got called. It was interesting.
I was raised on a farm, and for various circumstances, we had a very beautiful and simple lifestyle. We didn't have electricity or a telephone, or a car or a tractor, so it was a lot of manual work and family life, and going to school and learning. And
there were like 11 of you guys, right?
No. I'm the oldest of 5.
5, okay,
yeah.
5, okay.
Yeah, but there were families like that. I had a family of cousins. There were 11 in the family, then other families with 2. So everybody has their own unique gift and calling, right? And then I wanted to quit school and be a farmer.
Did you really?
When I was like 14, 15, I was passionately in love with farming.
Well, that's why you like nature.
Well, possibly that's part of it for sure. And my parents also had a great sense and respect for nature. They were both, well, my dad was a farmer, but he was born in a town, and then my mother was raised on a farm. And so that was a great blessing for sure. That was a great blessing. And then I wanted to become a nuclear physicist. There's a lot more detail to how that story happened, and I was really passionate about that.
Were you really?
And even the Lord, I think, used that a little bit to hook my interest in our congregation, the Legionaries of Christ, which I joined. I heard about in September 1973, at the beginning of my last year of high school.
Right.
And then in September 1974, I joined the seminary.
Right.
After high school had finished. And that's 48 years ago.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
And so it's really amazing how the Lord takes one's life step by step forward,
and what He equips you with, because you'll need it.
Exactly. So it's I just have my heart filled with gratitude. You see so much suffering in the world, and everybody has a struggle. I have to do all my struggles.
Yeah.
Because we're a tough piece that God is trying to work on.
I always tell people in Bible study and everything, if people say they've never had problems or they've never had, persecution, they're not telling you the truth, or the Lord hasn't used them yet. I think everybody's had trials and tribulations that God uses for His glory.
Right. And
everything's used for His glory.
Sure.
Yes.
And then, but when we see people that have major trials, imagine people skinned alive for their faith.
I know. I just can't even imagine.
The story of the apostles, the crucifixions, the people that have been tried and tested for their faith, even into right now.
Yeah.
And not far from here, and around the world. I think the discovery is to discover Christ and to discover the gift He is, and that's a life discovery. And God gives us grace for this little by little, and to be able to say yes to the call that's particular for each one.
And I think we all are called to do something. We're all called to be a witness. We're all called to spread the gospel in different layers. We're all not in a seminary or a doctor or whatever. I think we're all called in different areas to be there for people that are searching and looking. I think so. Well, what is something you would like to leave with people, like a final thing that you think is important for people to know?
I would say, I don't know, just to be thankful, to open up our eyes to the gifts that we have. And can you imagine saying this? Some person can say, I'm really thankful to be in a hospital.
Yeah.
Because so many people have a worse illness than myself and don't have a hospital.
Right, that's true.
I'm so thankful to be able to read, because so many people can't read.
Right.
I'm so thankful for food. I'm so to be filled with gratitude really takes care of a lot of our soul.
I agree. I think so too.
To be filled with, and then to be filled with compassion for others, to have understanding. It's so easy to judge others, and so easy to consider others as enemies. And I don't think there was any single human being Jesus really saw as an enemy.
No.
They were all people that had been influenced in one way or another, and that were, for each one of us, He gave His life to redeem us.
That's right.
And that's the most important, that we have that we participate with Jesus in this mystery of lifting up people, of helping them, giving them a hand up and a hand forward, and get them to up the next step. You know, we all have either a broken leg or a broken heart or a broken nose or something in us that needs needs fixing.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, that's true. I really appreciate that because I agree with all of that.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like all of us have something sad.
Right.
Yeah.
And also all the things we hurt from, they're actually at the end of the day blessings, because they allow us to become more humble, and they allow us to let God do a little bit more in our lives, and we'd kind of be self-sufficient if we didn't have something.
I agree. I love that. Well, I really appreciate, make me cry. Well, I really appreciate your time. You're really
God
sweet.
bless
You're
you.
very precious.
God bless
Thank
you.
you. Blessings to you.
Thanks for
Thank you.
coming back
It's
to
true.
Magdala.
Thank you.